Yo, everyone, what is happening? Wow. Welcome back to the SPP show number 10. We got Monday Night Raw from Portland, Oregon. It's a two-man show tonight. I have with me my co-host tonight, Mr. Zero. Say hi to the crowd. If you will, good sir.
What's up, people? Welcome to the SPP. You know what time it is. We're about to spit some facts at you. Get ready for a night of awesome review.
Oh man, if your enthusiasm says anything, I might say what's what we have to talk about on this show. Where's the usual Mr. Zero energy? Oh man, I guess you.
Mr.
Oh.
Zero's here. Mr. Zero's here. Don't worry.
Well, tonight was
If
an
I
interesting.
could make it.
Travel Cheese not with us tonight, but he'll be back with us here pretty soon. But
Neither is missing it.
neither is Mrs. Nesbitt, and neither is J Truth. We got a lot of missing partners, but at least we got Mr. Zero and Johnny T here to try to talk about this episode of Monday Night Raw, which emanated from Portland, Oregon. It's the what third? There's only three more episodes of Raw before the Royal Rumble here, so Royal Rumble season is nigh upon us, and this episode was interesting to say the least because there was only I think like two previously announced things for this Raw. Everything else was just kind of like we were gonna wait and see what they were gonna do with the show, and we that's what we ended up with, right? So we got our main event for sure, which was advertised last week: Shinsuke Nakamura versus Cody Rhodes, round two. But what we didn't know, what we would later find out in during the show, is because of a backstage brawl, we would then have this turned into a street fight. So that was a surprise. That was not previously announced. So I thought that was kind of cool. The match itself, for being the second round of these two guys, was pretty fun. I think the street fight element definitely made it a lot more exciting. Added some excitement. We had kendo sticks, tables, and nunchucks. Oh my! A little bit of mist, a little bit. I mean, even the damn ring the ring bell guy, the timekeeper got misted. He got in on the action. So a lot of good spots. Both guys went through tables at one point. Of course, at the end of the day, Cody ends up winning with just one crossroads after throwing Shinsuke Nakamura through a table, which actually looked really really sick because he like bounced off of the ropes, off of the in through that table. It was actually pretty cool. But Cody wins, and I guess that's it for this feud. I guess the feud is over, and Cody finishes the story. Or at least finishes another chapter of the story of his story, I guess. But I liked it. It was a good main event. It was exciting. They gave him a lot of time. I think they gave him like 25 minutes. Of course, two commercial breaks in between. But still good stuff. Very exciting and a good way, I guess, to end a filler feud on a filler Monday Night Raw. So, what you got, Mr. Zero, on this main event that got turned into a street fight? What'd you think of Shinsuke versus Cody 2 Electric Boogaloo?
I'm gonna tell you something, Johnny T. First of all, this match was everything. It had everything. Like you said, nunchucks, kendo sticks, tables. Oh my! And the crowd was loving it. And, you gotta love the play to the crowd. The crowd's chanting tables, and what does Cody give him? He gives him a table, and even Shinsuke, who's a heel, what does he do? He grabs a table, and unfortunately, well, the funny thing about that is the person that grabbed the table went through the table they grabbed. So that was a that was a little funny if you had caught that, but
Yeah.
yeah, man. Ring announcer got misted in the face, and I mean, I'm like, Cody, who cares about him? Whoop Shinsuke's ass,
Oh yeah.
and you know.
He was like,
But
"Get help! Get help! Get help!"
it's like, who cares?
I'm sure that
Oh
guy. I'm
man,
sure
but
that guy has insurance. I'm sure he has insurance. I think he'll be fine.
I was wondering what. First of all, I was wondering what the guy was doing there. I mean, you see him in the background. I'm like, Cody tells him, "Get out of the way, get out of the way," and the guy just standing there, and I'm like, "What's he doing?" Like, I don't know. Maybe I think he might have been one of those backup wrestlers y'all were talking about from when we were talking about last time that were with security clearance.
An NXT guy or whatever, like one of like the newbies, like the new guys, like that you haven't seen them on TV yet. So this is like their first opportunity. Like get out there and get misted in the face.
Hmm.
Joe Blow, go ahead and go out there, prove your worth. Oh
Yeah, I'll give it
man.
to Shinsuke though. He put on a display with those nunchucks.
Hmm.
Caught me off guard because you don't see too many people do. First of all, you don't see too many people grab the nunchucks from under their ring and decide to use them as a
I
weapon.
didn't even know they were
And he put
there.
those things on display. Yeah,
I didn't even know that was an option.
but I mean, this match had a lot of back and forth. So like you said, maybe it might have been a little bit of a filler show, but at least the main event, was worth the wait and worth the watch.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. And of course, this pretty much catapults Cody into the Royal Rumble scene, which for this being a filler show, at the very least, you got a better idea about where things might be going in both Rumble matches, really, as we get
Mhm.
closer and closer to that. But Cody finishes finishes one of his stories for a change, and hopefully he's on the road to finishing the big one. But good stuff for Cody. Still looks good as always. Has one of the best entrances in the game. Shinsuke Nakamura, to give him his, got to give him his props too, because he showed out tonight too. But for Shinsuke, I think he's just relegated to, he is what he is at this point. Because I don't know what else you do with Shinsuke Nakamura at this point. Because I mean, he hasn't really won a big match in, quite some time after losing to Seth a few times, and now losing to Cody in this match. I don't know what you do, because I really really like the Shinsuke character right now with all the character work and everything that they've done with him, all the anime, vignettes and stuff like that they've been doing with him, and I like this kind of like this more like aggressive, sinister Shinsuke. But I don't know what you do with him after this feud. So I guess we'll have to see. Can't do everything with everybody, but we'll see how it goes. But I think there's still a place to use Shinsuke somewhere on this show. But
Oh yeah,
good
yeah.
stuff.
I was say the Monday Night Raw roster on the men's side is extremely stacked. So much talent on there, and they can do so many storylines. You never know what's going to happen with Shinsuke or anybody for that matter.
For sure. I hope that no matter where they put him, after this Cody thing, that they continue to do those kinds of like stories with him and stuff like that, because it's cool. It's
Mhm.
different. I like the putting the video packages thing and whatnot. I don't think you need to put Shinsuke Nakamura with a live mic in the ring anymore. I don't think it works. I don't think it makes sense. I think doing it like this is the way to do his character from here on out, for however long he has left in this, in the WWE. I think this is the way you do it. But good stuff. Good main event. Cody moves on and gets ready for the Royal Rumble. See where we go in the next couple of weeks with that. So the rest of the show, of course, is going to be Royal Rumble centric as far as setting up things for the Royal Rumble, and we start off the show with Drew McIntyre already in the ring right out the gate. No entrance, no anything. He's already in the ring with the live mic, and proceeds to talk about what happened in last week's championship match. Blames himself for the loss, but then doesn't. Like almost immediately says, it's not my fault actually, because it's Damian Priest's fault. I guess he called Damian Priest an idiot for not cashing in after Drew had won, but Drew
Yeah,
still
just take it from me after I win it.
like let me at least win it first, and then you can take it away from me, I guess. Like that was kind of interesting, but all this was it was just Drew talking for a little bit, and then of course he mentioned CM Punk's name as one of these guys that have kind of taken this scene away from Drew over the last couple of months, and almost without even a heartbeat, CM Punk comes out. Of course, CM Punk was announced last week that he would be returning this week, and there he was in the first segment with Drew in the ring, which I found intriguing as he was coming out. Like, ooh, I would like to see a Drew versus CM Punk program. I think I would be okay with that. And for a minute, I thought maybe that's where they were gonna go with this, and that's not really what happened. CM Punk comes out, says his usual stuff. Both of them kind of have a one of the things I did like about this promo from CM Punk's perspective is explaining to Drew things from the past, because I mean, yeah, it really was that kind of thing where Drew was a young gun, had really very little direction. CM Punk was on top of the world, leaves the company, and a guy like Drew, you would think would be one of those guys that might be able to elevate, and yet he didn't, and he left himself too. Not maybe about 2 years later, he got released or fired or whatever it was, and built a name for himself and came back. So they both have similarities in that regard. Although I think Drew did a lot more during his time away, and then when he came back, of course, he ended up winning multiple WWE championships, and he was during that 2020 year. He was the flag carrier during a really, really, really weird time for the world, and then especially in wrestling, like performing in front of no fans for like 2 months, and then performing in front of TV screens for the next 9 months. So, and during that time, Drew carried everything. So he was a leader, and CM Punk coming back into the fray shouldn't be looked at as a leader. Drew is supposed to be that leader guy, which is basically what Drew is trying to tell CM Punk. You don't come into my WWE and tell me that like I'm your leader now, kid. You're the kid now. I like that one. I thought this is where maybe they get a little physical once we started talking, but really all it is just to say I'm gonna throw you. CM Punk tells Drew he's gonna throw him out at the Rumble. He's gonna make sure to throw him out at the Rumble. He hopes that they're the last two in the Rumble. And what I got out of this promo is that I don't know where they're going with Drew at this point. This is just a way to create some buzz before the Royal Rumble filler again. But I think the way that it looks, I think those may be now. That'd be kind of tough because usually WWE likes to do like their final four guys in the Rumble. Three of them being Raw guys and only one of them being a SmackDown guy, I think would be kind of. I don't know if that would be overkill, but I could see CM Punk, Drew McIntyre, and Cody being like a part of that final four to kind of based on the promo that we got tonight. But I also wouldn't mind maybe sometime in between WrestleMania and Royal Rumble, like between Royal Rumble and WrestleMania, if they wanted to do Drew versus CM Punk. I do think. I mean, I don't know. I still don't know what CM Punk's deal is at this point. Like how many days he has to work, and whether or not any of those are going to be televised matches. But it looks like they are saving his first televised match for the Royal Rumble. He's not going to have any televised matches before the Royal Rumble unless something changes between now and the next couple of weeks. But it doesn't sound like that's what they're doing. So maybe after the Rumble, he can have some matches on TV before WrestleMania, and I actually wouldn't mind if Drew ends up being one of them. But pretty good opening segment, I thought. It set some intrigue for the Rumble. What'd you think about that?
Well, let me tell you something. Drew McIntyre comes out and he completely fakes everybody out. Makes everybody think. This could be a career for Drew McIntyre. It sounded like almost he was gonna retire for a little bit, but you get CM Punk coming out in street clothes, and I mean, I didn't think nothing was gonna happen between the two at the moment, but I think WWE could be setting up for CM Punk's first match to be against Drew McIntyre, which would definitely not be a sleeper for either one of them.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Drew McIntyre, he's kind of found himself in this mid card type of thing, especially since losing to Seth Rollins clean. And so I think WWE is just trying to keep him interested and or keep him as an interesting heel,
Mm-hmm.
and setting up him versus CM Punk next, um, or as CM Punk's first match would be an interesting way to keep him interested, and give CM Punk an interesting heel to come back and face. Um, as
I
far as
agree
the
with
Royal
that.
Rumble, like as far as the Royal Rumble, like you mentioned, I do believe it's going to be a Raw winner because you got all three of SmackDown's hottest stars
They're all in a match
in a
already.
match. hmm
Yeah.
So it just wouldn't it don't make sense that any of them are going to be the winner. Although I would be surprised. Maybe The Rock comes out and wins the Royal Rumble as the 31st
I
entrance.
didn't even at the 31st entrance. I didn't even think about that because I think we're all still trying to figure out where The Rock fits in all of this. Is his way to WrestleMania, if it even is WrestleMania, is it through the Royal Rumble or is it through just I'm here to challenge Roman Reigns and now I'm at WrestleMania? Like, does he have to earn his way to the main event, or does he just get thrown into it? I guess what remains to be seen. It would actually be pretty interesting if he was like number 30 and he just heard that if you smell, and it's like, oh boy, here we go. Then there's your final four, right? The Rock, The Rock, Cody,
CM
Drew, and
Punk.
CM Punk. That would be your final four.
Oh
All for the
wait,
right.
we're missing Jay Uso. We're missing mid card Jay Uso, or I guess no show Jay Uso this week.
We'll talk about Jey Uso in a minute, but yeah, he's got a place in this Rumble. I just don't know what that. I don't know exactly what that place is in this Rumble, but I guess we'll find out. Jeez, but yeah, a lot of intrigue in that opening promo, and I think at some point CM Punk needs a program with somebody, right? At least a starter program. I mean, can you carry the heat of Seth and CM Punk for 3 months before you get there? I don't know if you can without having something in between for both of the guys, and they kind of started that a little bit with both of them. So maybe Drew McIntyre is CM Punk's first like singles feud going into before WrestleMania. I would like to see that, and they kind of set the stage for that a little bit. I think that would be pretty nice. A lot of similarities between the two guys and their track records and histories and stuff like that. But with that being said, we get to the first match of the night, which was is the first one of the matches that I was like, oh, I didn't even know this was a thing. Finn Balor of the Judgment Day versus Tommaso Ciampa of DIY, and of course with that being the match, I guess we're headed for DIY versus the Judgment Day for those tag titles at some point, which I am 100% behind. Oh, I think that would just be amazing for DIY to dethrone them of those titles. Of course, that's neither here nor there yet. But we get a one-on-one match between these two guys, which are really, really good workers just in themselves. I'm not sure I've ever seen Finn Balor versus Ciampa before, so this might have been the first time we've gotten that on TV at least. And what was actually kind of funny about this match, it wasn't really even the match, it was before when Ciampa's like coming out and he's doing this like actually kind of badass, like there's something new that I haven't seen before, or at least in a while, where he's doing his promo, but it's not like one of those like standing in front of a camera with the microphone and then like you cut to the crowd. He's actually walking to the ring as the camera's following him, and he's doing his promo about DIY and where they're going and what they need to do. And Johnny Gargano's right behind him, and Johnny Gargano's paying so much attention to the camera that he doesn't see the curtain in front of him. And he hits that curtain. And he like, I know I'm like, It didn't mean to happen, but it just looked kind of funny because he was just kind of looking at that camera, going like, "Yeah, yeah," and then he like hit the curtain. And was like
Oh
pushed it out
God.
of the way. Like you didn't see the curtain coming. It was just like kind of took you out of the moment for a minute. Made me laugh. I was like, "Oh shit, Johnny, there's a curtain there." It would almost like if there was like a wall there, like he would have hit it, but like he hit the.
Tonight, Johnny Gargano was Johnny Blind.
Was John, yeah,
Definitely Johnny Blind tonight.
for a change, I'm not Johnny Blind. Johnny Wrestling was Johnny Blind today. He did not see the curtain in front of him, but he pushed that thing so great and just kept his face the same. You know he was probably pissed off about that. It's like shit, man, because
Yeah,
you only get one take at that. You don't get an extra one. So he was probably really
yeah.
pissed off that he hit the curtain on that. And that's yeah. So that was kind of funny. But we get into this match, and it was a pretty good little opening match between Finn Balor and Tommaso Ciampa. A lot of near falls, a lot of good back and forth. Um, excuse me, Damian Priest did come out. Right, Damian Priest was with him on ringside with this for this match,
Hmm.
and Johnny Gargano was obviously on ringside for Ciampa, and there was a lot of good little dive spots from the outside. Both guys on the outside would eventually get involved in one way or another, but it would be the interference of Johnny Gargano that would actually cause Ciampa to win the match, and that's a win for DIY. It's pretty much setting them up probably for a future tag team title match. Another funny thing. This whole entire segment, and they had a couple of funny things. Uh, there was at one point I think Finn Balor like picked up the ropes and like racked Tommaso Ciampa with the ropes, and he did it right in front of the ref. And my thought is that legal? Like, can you legally do that with the ropes now? Like, can you, like he did it on purpose. Like he knew what he was doing. Like he literally grabbed the ropes and just went like that. But it also looked kind of like it didn't look like Tommaso Ciampa like sold it right away. Like he didn't know what was happening. But it was
That was a bad sell.
it was not the best sell of the night on that one. But yeah, Champa gets a win, and we're looking forward. I'm looking forward to DIY versus the Judgment Day for those titles at some point, whenever they decide to do that. But what were your thoughts on that? What did you think about this? Did you think that DIY did enough to? Do you think Champa did enough to give DIY a shot at those titles?
Yeah, let me tell you something, Johnny T. I do believe DIY is next in line to get those tag team titles. I believe it will happen at Elimination Chamber, and who knows? Who knows? We could be looking at future tag team champions. It would be a nice change of pace to see somebody in the WWE lose a damn title other than the women's championships. Um, but yeah, Johnny Gargano, helps Ciampa pull out the win at the end, and who knows what's a DQ nowadays? Apparently, Red Mist 3 weeks ago is a DQ, and then you know, I mean, they used to have the guy lying on the rope while they're going up and down all the time, and that was never a DQ. So maybe it is a DQ now. So who knows? Who knows what's a DQ? I think WWE just makes it up as they go, day by day. Um, but hell, they're doing a damn good job of it. Let me tell you. Um, but
Who the hell knows what are the rules? What are the rules, anyways? Who even cares about rules or anything like that?
just
But
make every match a Street Fighter and no DQ match.
might as well at this point, like just let anything go because anybody can do anything in these matches. But good. Champa getting the win, I thought was the right call. We'll see where it goes. Hopefully, DIY gets that tag team title shot sooner than later. So then we go to from there. Speaking of tag teams or half teams, we go to our second match of the night, which is Kofi
The
Kingston of the New Day versus
the match of the night,
versus Ludwig
or I guess
Kaiser
the moment of the night.
versus Ludwig Kaiser of Imperium, who both guys are missing their partners. Both of them out with injuries right now. I did look it up. It doesn't say what injuries Xavier Woods has, but apparently he's dealing with some injuries and he's been given some time off, which is why we haven't seen Kofi and Xavier together since I think November, if I'm not mistaken, or early December. One of those two It's
It was
either
during the Gauntlet match.
yeah, I think that was early
During the
December. I
Gauntlet
think that was
match.
the first week of December. Ever since then, we haven't seen Kofi and Xavier Woods together, and Kofi's been rocking this new singles attire that he has, which is basically boxers and a wife beater. He literally came out with like boxers and like I think I have that muscle shirt that he came out in. I think I have like 2 or 3 of those muscle shirts that he came out in. He like little Hanes ones, little undershirts. And so okay, that's a different look for Kofi, I guess. And then
They're just not putting. They just give up on their attire already.
I guess
They give
so.
up
After having
on the
like some of the more like cool
memorable.
looking, memorable ones and custom ones that just like put on boxers and a damn wife beater. I don't care anymore. Just put me out there. What the hell is this?
I think I think WWE told Kofi, "Hey man, you're just gonna go out there and you get your ass whooped for what you did to Vinci last week,
So you may as well wear whatever the hell. You may as well wear your night clothes.
wear something comfortable.
Wear something
It's gonna be
comfortable
a long
for
night."
your ass kicking. Look at that, which is exactly what Kaiser came out for. Is he was looking for revenge for his downed brother Giovanni Vinci, who I'm assuming probably dealing with concussion issues right now. And based on what Michael Cole said, he's going to be out for multiple weeks. So I guess Kaiser's going to have to hold down the fort of Imperium for a little while. But my God, Kaiser is actually a really, really good singles competitor. I'm impressed by him just being a singles guy and how what he's able to do in the ring one on one. Him and Kofi worked pretty well together, but Kaiser really got most of the offense in this entire match. Really, Kofi got his spots here and there, but this was all about Kaiser. This was all about Kaiser, like you said, whooping his ass to no end because he's pissed off that he hurt his friend, and he let Kofi know about it. That's for sure. But the way this match ends is both guys are fighting outside and can't make it to the 10 count and we get a double count out. And I told you right away when this match ended, like, oh, what a lame fucking finish, dude. Double count out. Are you kidding me? But that's not where it ended. The best part of this whole entire thing happens after the match is over, where where it just gets me every time. I love this spot, and I love that the New Day seem to be in the middle of this spot all the time. Or somebody from the New Day is like always in the middle of this fucking chair spot when they get the chair thrown at their face. And it's always such a great look, dude. Like, oh man, he hit him. He may have hit him in the face with the foot of that chair. It looked like he did. If he didn't, it looked like it looked really, really good. If that's where it would have ended, I still would have said that was pretty funny and pretty cool, like, and pretty nice. That's not where it ended. He proceeded to kick his ass. Kaiser proceeded to kick Kofi's ass for multiple minutes, while you had Jason Jordan and what's his name, Jamie Noble out there
I was so happy to see him. Yeah.
Jamie Noble, man, and Jason Jordan trying to stop the bleeding there for Kofi, trying to get Kaiser to give up and stop and get away. And then before they're able to pull him off, he sets up Kofi on the stairs, which I was like, what is he gonna do? At first I thought he was just gonna like slam him on the stairs or something. And then when he laid him there, they didn't let him do his thing. He's going out to the front. He's already almost at the ramp. And then he just sprints across to the other side and gives him the meanest looking drop kick to the head on the stairs. And the crowd popped for that. I did too. I popped off of my chair for that. I was like, oh shit. That looked dirty. And the crowd started the holy shit chants right like immediately after that. That was badass. That's what I wrote in my notes. I wrote badass. That was insane. What an ending to that whole entire segment. I think Kofi's dead. I don't think he's alive. But the whole point of that whole thing was Kaiser trying to get revenge for his down partner, and he may have given Kofi 2 concussions, one with the chair and one with the freaking drop kick dive to the stairs. Like that was such a good look. It was so amazing, and I like this Kaiser. I like the mean streak, uh, real rough, tough Kaiser. Like I really, really like it, and I think there's a place for him doing that. So we'll see where it goes. I mean, I would assume Kofi's probably not coming back next week after that, but that was insane. That was so cool. What'd you think about that? Based on your heart emoji there, I'm assuming you loved that entire ending to that match.
Let me tell you something, Johnny T. I love the Mortal Kombat finish at the end. You said Ludwig Kaiser dominated this whole match. I believe WWE didn't even want Kofi Kingston to get any shots in because what could happen if he gets one shot in? Take a look at last week. Vinci goes down with one shot. Kofi takes. They didn't want that to happen with Kaiser. So they went in and told Kaiser, "You go in there and you whoop his ass. I don't care how the match finishes, as long as you finish him." Brutality.
That was a Mortal Kombat finisher, man. Like I could see the like as soon as he hits him, you get the like the neck crack or the head smash crack. You know how they do that little X-ray thing. Oh my god, that should be. I mean, I know that can't be his finisher, but that would be kind of funny if it was, right? Take him outside and then do that, and then roll him back in the ring, and it's over.
I got another prediction, Johnny T. I believe that in the future, if Imperium is in fact coming to an end with the recent losses as of late, I do believe we will see Kaiser versus Gunther in a main event sooner or later for the Intercontinental Championship, and I believe it will be
Ooh,
one hell of a match.
that is a bold, bold prediction, and I honestly wouldn't mind seeing that. And I think based on the things that we've seen, we could be headed in that direction. Time will tell, but I do think there's a place here for uh, solo run Kaiser at some point down the road, especially if we get the Kaiser like this that's very aggressive like that. Like, good lord, I don't, I know we've all seen a lot of wrestling in the past, but that was a pretty sick looking spot. Like it looked really, really just cool and like wow, out of nowhere. I didn't think that was gonna happen. And kudos to the veteran Kofi for selling that very, very well, where it looked like it legit like just killed him. Good stuff, man. Good stuff. We'll see where they go with that. I guess we'll see where Kaiser goes because it looks like he's going to be by himself for a while. I don't know if they're just going to give Kofi some time off here since there's no Xavier Woods. So maybe this is a way to get Kofi off of TV for a few weeks until the Rumble. And
Give him time to find his wrestling tights.
exactly right before the Rumble. And give Kaiser something to do in between whenever Giovanni Vinci can come back and Gunther makes his return to TV as well. But good stuff there. That was like, yeah, that was my spot and my moment of the night because that was just fucking cool. Like that's just cool stuff, man. That was just insane. I was like, I think Kofi's dead. I think he's dead. Get out the stretcher, bring it. Get out the stretcher, bring the ambulance, because that guy is not walking out of this arena. Good lord, what a spot! Good stuff, man. And then we get to our second in-ring segment of the night, which is Nia Jax coming out, which was kind of interesting that Michael Cole was introduced to her. I was like, I didn't know what they were gonna do when Michael Cole was in the ring, but all he did was just introduce her. I thought maybe he would interview her a bit, but he just introduced her, and then she kind of just did her thing, right? I mean, I don't think Michael Cole was in the ring for much of anything else other than to just announce her. I mean, of course, before this Nia Jax segment, we did get a backstage segment from Becky, which is just saying that she's not done with Nia. She's getting ready for the Rumble. And she'll look forward to continuing, to getting her revenge, I guess, or whatever, at the Rumble against Nia. Okay, I guess it was just a backstage segment for Becky, your usual stuff there. But then you got the Nia in-ring one, which at first was pretty much just her gloating about what she did to Becky and what she's going to do at the Royal Rumble. And then we get the real intrigue of this thing when Mommy herself, Rhea Ripley, interrupts the segment to come out and talk to Nia Jax about the whole entire about her whole entire thing. You tend to forget that Nia Jax did return last year to the Rumble. That was her first return back, and Rhea Ripley was the one that eliminated her from the Rumble. So fast forward a couple of months later, and Nia Jax goes and attacks Rhea Ripley when she comes back, which they had that whole triple threat feud between Raquel, her, and Nia. Now it looks like we could potentially get at some point down the road a Nia versus Rhea one-on-one matchup, which I would be all for, especially after the momentum that Nia Jax has built up. And Nia Jax made sure to tell, once again, Nia Jax has just been fire on all these things, bringing in the heat when it comes to the person on the other side of the mic, talking facts, right? Like, remember, when I came back, I'm the one that put you down. She did. She beat the crap out of Rhea. Nobody really does that, but Nia Jax did. So Nia Jax's declaration is she will win the Royal Rumble, and when she does, she will challenge Rhea Ripley. Okay, all right then. We'll see how that goes. Although I don't think that's going to happen. I think this whole thing is set up for either Bayley or Becky to win the Royal Rumble. I don't think Nia Jax is going to win the Royal Rumble. She never does because she always gets like ganged up on or something dumb happens and she's always out of the Royal Rumble. But you do set some intrigue, and I do like the possible idea of WWE putting in our heads that Nia Jax is the most dominant force in WWE, even more dominant than Rhea Ripley, and she could easily win the Royal Rumble and have a shot at the title. I liked this segment. I thought it was pretty good. What'd you think of it?
Yeah, Johnny T, I agree with you. Nia Jax comes out, she's talking about, no woman can touch me, and right away that triggers Rhea Ripley's music to hit, and she comes out, and for a second I thought we were gonna get Rhea Ripley proposing a match at the Royal Rumble between the two, and it didn't happen. But yeah, I'm interested to see how this feud plays out, and if we'll get it maybe an Elimination Chamber. I don't see Nia Jax winning the Royal Rumble, but I mean, with the run she's had, who knows, right? And Becky Lynch just lost. You said she had a little promo backstage, and she's talking about, yeah, she beat me, but I'm getting stronger. Didn't look like that last week, that's for sure. But yeah, as far as the women's Royal Rumble, I don't know. Like you said, maybe Bayley. But I think I'd be leaning towards Bayley more if she was out of Damage Control, which hasn't happened yet. And so hey, maybe Nia is the future Royal Rumble champion. We will see.
Could very well be. I know that at the Rumble, typically they like to at least do one singles women's match for one of the titles. Last year, I believe it was Bianca putting up her title against Alexa in that one. So I don't know which title they might choose, if they'll have Io defend her title at the Rumble or if they'll have Rhea defend it at the Rumble. So we still got a couple of weeks left to get to the Royal Rumble. I don't think that they would put Nia in a one-on-one match with Rhea at the Rumble because I think they want to use Nia in the Rumble match. It makes sense because the story is like you said. This is no disrespect, none at all, but she really is kind of like the Big Show of the women's division, in the sense of that you want to see a person that size competing in the Rumble match, because how do you get, even though we've seen it plenty of times, it's always like, how do you get that person? How do you eliminate that person? There's been many people that have done it, but like, how do you do it, right? And you kind of want to see like how all these women are going to be able to put up with the force like that in the Royal Rumble match. And then, of course, the most dominant person in that match in recent history is not going to be in it. Rhea Ripley is not going to be in that match this year. So you need a dominant, like, big person to put in there that's going to tear up shit and whatnot in that Rumble. I think that's why you put Nia Jax in the Rumble match versus just giving her a one-on-one singles match. But maybe you could, like you said, maybe you could do that on a Raw, either leading up to WrestleMania or Elimination Chamber, one of the two. But the way that you've built her up over the last couple of weeks, I think she deserves a title match before WrestleMania. I think she deserves to be in that picture based on the way that you have portrayed her over the last couple of weeks. And in this standoff on the mic with Rhea, I think she really held her own. And I think it would actually be a pretty cool program to see two of these big, strong women going up against each other in just a smash 'em, beat 'em up kind of style. Because it's like we were saying last week, I think, when we were talking about Rhea and Ivy, is that as fun as it was to see Ivy and as good as a show she put on, at the end of the day, there's nobody more dominant than Rhea Ripley. You just can't compete with that, right? Unless you're a person of a size like Nia Jax, right? Now you're talking a little bit different. A person that can pick her up and slam her and throw her around for a change. I want to see that. We've only seen it in a triple threat style, but I want to see that one-on-one match just to see. I don't care if it's heel versus heel. And I mean, at this point, Rhea Ripley's basically a fucking face anyways, because the crowd just cheers for her. Like, she's the most cheered Judgment Day character of the group. Like, she may as well be a damn face at this point. It's like you were saying. I think you were saying she's like on Stone Cold and The Rock levels of, like, it doesn't matter if she's a good guy or bad, or a good woman or a bad woman. The fans love her. The fans love her either way, and so I think that match could work. But we'll see where they go down the road there. Once again, another way for WWE to get you excited about the Royal Rumble, I guess, and picking and choosing who you think it might win the Royal Rumble. So we get to our third match of the night, which is a rematch for the Women's Tag Team Championships between Kaden Carter and Katana Chance versus Chelsea Green and Piper Niven. And it is no longer Chelsea Green. It's just Chelsea Green. So big thumbs down for that one, because I enjoyed that. And she's the only one that, like, Samantha Irvin still does it for even with Piper Niven. She still said Piper Niven, like, in that Scottish tone, but I don't know. I guess people just didn't like it. Maybe it's because it portrays white Karens too much. I don't know. The white Karen portion of the audience didn't like that, I guess, and complained about it. I don't know. Like, I don't know. Somebody was a Karen about that one and canceled that, so that's kind of disappointing. But what wasn't disappointing was this match. I thought it was pretty good. The first time this match came around, apparently I was called Johnny Blind, because apparently I didn't watch this match the first time, and I called Kaden Carter and Katana Chance, like, very unexciting when it came to their in-ring style, and I was told that's not the case. You're blind. You don't know what you're looking at. I think that was a quote by the guy sitting on the other side there. But this time around, this was actually pretty good, and not just because of Kaden Carter and Katana Chance, but Chelsea Green actually had some nice little offense here, including her husband's Rough Rider, which she busted out and hit pretty solid. Like, it didn't look clunky. Like, she hit it real nice and got a nice near fall out of that. Piper Niven. I'm going to let you talk about Piper Niven, because you had some comments about it, and you might need to bring those out for this one. If not, I'm gonna call you out if you don't say it. But good stuff from all four ladies here. and you end up with a couple of near falls by the former champs, but in the end, Katana Chance and Caitlyn Carter win by knocking Piper Niven out of the match, and then getting Chelsea Green set up for the kickstand, which didn't necessarily connect the way that it should. You got the knees hitting Chelsea Green right in the damn gut, so I'm pretty sure she couldn't breathe for a minute or two. But it's still pretty good looking. I mean, it's hard, I guess, to hold a person. I mean, even though she only weighs like 100 pounds probably, but still, it's got a hard spot. But they retained their titles. And during this match, you also got a couple of backstage views of the Raw Women's Tag Team division, which, in my opinion, I'm with you on that. None of those women should get a title shot against these women. I think the real contenders are on SmackDown and not over here on the Raw Women's Tag Team roster right now. So none of those women that were watching this that were watching in the back should get that title shot. I think it's reserved for the SmackDown women's division over there. They got a couple of tag teams, I think, that are more than capable of giving Katana Chance and Kane Carter a good match there. But yeah, they retained their titles. The run of Chelsea Green and Piper Niven, I believe, is coming to an end. And I think it's been long overdue anyways, so we'll see where those characters go. But the party girls get to party for another night, and they get to go celebrate their championship victories. But Mr. Zero, what did you think about this match? Particularly the way that Piper Niven was so agile and so good at everything that she did tonight. Am I right?
I'm going to tell you something, Johnny T. I was referring to a moment where there was a moment where Piper Niven ran into the other side of the ring, and it just looked it looked like maybe she had cinder blocks for ring boot. I think yeah, she ran a 40 times slower than Tom Brady. That's for damn sure. But this match was damn good, and I do got to disagree with you on the fact that what you said about the ladies backstage watching very closely. I think Natty and whoever she's on a team with can take the party girls and give them a run for their money. Not really, whatever. Anyway, yeah, Chelsea Green definitely showed out tonight. She was the one carrying the team, and unfortunately, at the end of the match, it was Piper Niven carrying Chelsea Green on her back after she splattered her.
That's right.
First of all, the cake stand was overkill at the end of the match because Piper Niven went ahead and did her own little finishing move on her own teammate Chelsea Green, and we could have ended the match right there. But no, we got to add insult to injury. We got to give them one cake stand, knees to the chest, 90 pounds, bam, 1, 2, 3, and we got champions retaining.
We sure do.
But I did like what I told you earlier, Johnny T, that I believe Chelsea Green, with the way she's been improving, she could be one hell of a singles competitor. And hey, maybe she can be a future women's champion.
Whoo, that's high praise for Chelsea Green, who has got the character. The character is a very, very, very hateable because she comes off as a Karen, which most people do not like. So it's a very easy character, and she plays it so very, very well. And the in-ring work, like you said, at least to me, it looks like it's getting better. That a couple of her spots just look pretty clean. That Rough Rider, she's been working with her husband Matt Cardona on that one. I'm sure in the ring, and maybe even in the bedroom. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe. And so, giving them the Rough Rider, if you know what I'm talking about. But but she hit that pretty clean, man, and it looked good. So hopefully she's got a bright future. I do think that the tag division is not for her anymore, and I think it's time to move on and do some single stuff. Now, we got a lot of stiff competition at the top when it comes to the women, but if she can work it in really, really well, I think she could do something. And here is you want early 2024 predictions based on, like, I know you brought out a Kaiser one earlier. I'm gonna bring out one for this one and say in 2024, Chelsea Green will be your Miss Money in the Bank. Book it. So come.
Where you went there, man? Like we went there. Money in the bank.
I believe Money in the Bank is in June or July, I think. So that'll give her some time to, to refine her skills a little bit, get some stuff going, and just in time for her to win Money in the Bank. I think that would be awesome. Imagine Chelsea Green with the Money in the Bank briefcase. Oh man, I think that's just
Hopefully they do a better job. Hopefully they do a better job with her with the Money in the Bank than they are with Damian Priest.
Yeah, Mr. Priest there. Geez, which that's actually the perfect segue into the next segment, which was also my favorite segment of the night, which was the R-Truth tribute video.
Oh my God.
Of R-Truth talking about his long history of wanting to be a part of the Judgment Day since the day he was born, and where he told the doctor he would be a part of Judgment Day someday, right out of the womb. And just the video package that they put together for this was so fucking amazing. I was laughing my ass off through the whole thing, through like all the terrible photoshops of all of Judgment Day's best moments, including R-Truth was there when Damian Priest won the Money in the Bank. He was right there with the ladder right next to him. I don't remember seeing that, but maybe I just wasn't. Maybe I just didn't have the widescreen view on when I was watching the show that one time. I'll have to go back on Peacock and see if I missed it. But what a moment to miss. That one, and then all the other moments, all the other great Judgment Day moments that he's been a part of that I just I guess I forgot about. So how could I? I mean, but geez, it's good of R-Truth to remind us of all those wonderful moments and what the future holds for the greatest group on earth that includes R-Truth, the Judgment Day. But what a video package! The way it was like. The way it started too, man, it looked like it was gonna be like a retrospective of like R-Truth's like careers, like one of those kinds of setups. It's very serious. His tone was. That's what I loved about it so much. It was like one of those like serious tones kind of video productions, but it was about.
It started off that way. Definitely started off that way from the day I was born, and then it's just.
I always knew I would be a part of Judgment Day someday. It's the picture of the doctor holding him, man. Like that's
my favorite part. My favorite part of the whole thing was when he put his face over JD.
He put his face, yeah, like it just blended into. Is it the terrible photoshops and everything? It was so great. It was so good because WWE is like they have like the highest production value in all of sports entertainment, but just when they do stuff like that, it just reminds you that you can be funny with stupid shit like that. But R-Truth being a part of the Judgment Day is one of the best things in the whole world. Right after that, we get Judgment Day's reaction from the clubhouse, and where I still don't understand where the clubhouse is or why they call it the clubhouse and how that's all assembled. And I'm assuming they still got that brand new TV he's got. That's where they're watching that segment on. And where the smoke is coming from, I guess they're doing that off camera. A little bit of the guns or something. I don't know, but they got a little smoke in there. But Damian Priest is laughing a little bit. JD is not laughing. He is very, very pissed off about this segment. And during this whole backstage, it looks Judgment Day's talking about their futures and what things need to be taken care of. R-Truth needs to be taken care of. The DIY needs to be taken care of. Nia Jax needs to be taken care of. So there's all kinds of problems going on in the Judgment Day right now as far as who needs to take care of who. But in the meantime, we get the match between The Miz versus JD McDonough. And right off the bat, within like the first 30, we get the commercial break, but then right out of it, right away, R-Truth inserts himself into the ringside as part of the Judgment Day. And it's pretty much about the same thing. that we got last week in the tag team, as far as where Truth's where does his loyalties lie? Do they lie with the Miz or do they lie with the Judgment Day? He believes that JD is not a part of the Judgment Day because he lost. Like he should not be a part of the Judgment Day anymore. And he helps the Miz win the match. The Miz wins against JD McDonough. But this whole thing's just more about what R-Truth is just bringing to the table in this whole entire damn thing. But once again, JD doesn't get it done again. He loses another match and then continues to put the heat on him in this group. But good stuff, man. This R-Truth thing, it sounds like it may be coming to a head here pretty soon. I hope it's not. But man, it's so good. It's all this R-Truth stuff with Judgment Day is just so very good. The match itself was just it was what it was. The Miz wins, but it's all about the R-Truth stuff with that one. Good stuff, man. What'd you think?
One thing we forgot about the R-Truth video was at the end when he mentions Judgment Day's motto: "Live, love, and laugh," or something like that.
Live, laugh, and love.
And then it cuts out. And he's like, "That's not our logo. That's not our slogan."
That's not our motto. And
And then, yeah, like you said about the match, man. And then, there was one right before a commercial break when JD JD and Dom. I think they get Miz, whatever, and then they're all posing, and then you see
yeah,
R-Truth
in the background. He does the same thing. They don't see him. And like, oh my god.
And I think Miz forgets which side he's on sometimes. Maybe he thinks he's still part of the Awesome Truth because he's in the ring holding his hand up like yeah, and then he's telling Judgment Day like, well, what's wrong? Wait for me. I don't know what the heck he's telling him, but you know.
Oh my god.
But yeah, I do agree. I do agree with you. The heat is on JD, and maybe their problem isn't R-Truth. Maybe the problem is their weakest link is JD, and to be really relevant and to put themselves back at a higher pedestal than what they are right now. Because let's face it, who knows what the heck is where Judgment Day is. They think they're at the top, but really they're not as high as they actually think they are. And the elimination of JD and the addition of Truth, it could set them.
It could set them over the top. They'll be the hottest thing in wrestling. Oh my goodness, the things they could do with that. And at some point, you're onto something there, Mr. Zero, because at some point, this Judgment thing is going to end, right? In one way or another, right? But maybe it doesn't have to if you transition it into something different and you make it fun for people to like enjoy. Because I'm contemplating right now, like let's just be honest, I'm thinking about buying a Judgment Day shirt and putting R-Truth's name on it just because of how fun this has been and how like just funny that is. Like I'm willing to buy their merchandise because of that. Because of this stuff that's happening.
Sure. I need R-Truth at the bottom.
And if they put out a shirt that says Judgment Day, live, laugh, love, like I'll buy one. I will buy one. Like with all their faces on it and R-Truth on it that says live, laugh, love. I would totally buy one.
The one with the one with the baby pictures, where the babies.
That whole thing was great, man. It was so good. I mean, oh man, it's good stuff. I enjoy that. I enjoy comedy with my wrestling sometimes, and this is the perfect thing. And I think it's gotten so much attention, and it's been so good that it was one of this segment was actually one of the advertised things for tonight's show, other than those two matches that were previously announced. So WWE notices that this is hot. This is something that's really good. It's getting a reaction from the live crowds, and it's getting a reaction from the people, watching the show. The live crowd, I mean, granted, R-Truth is lovable no matter what, but when you have them chanting R-Truth's name, like, and having them get that loud of reactions, it's because of what they're doing with the story that he's getting those reactions. And so I think it's good. I think they should continue it for as long as they can. Like just drag it out, continue to drag it out because it's good stuff and it's funny and I mean, oh my god, it's so hilarious, and it's so hilarious how much it's pissing off JD McDonough, the Funko Pop. You know, oh god, we'll see where it goes, but give me more R-Truth every week with the Judgment Day. Give me something more like stupid next week, and I'll be continue to be on board with it. But that was good. I'm gonna have to go back on YouTube when they put it on there and watch that segment again because I was just laughing my ass off on that whole entire thing that I may have missed something because I was laughing so hard. But yeah, so that's good stuff. So we get into our third in-ring segment of the night. We got Seth Rollins doing an in-ring promo, talking about defending his title, where things go for him in the role after the Royal Rumble. Who, for the first time in his career, he's looking to enter in WrestleMania as a champion instead of chasing a championship, and who should he defend it against? Who's going to win the Royal Rumble? You get some mixed reactions, some CM Punk reactions. CM Punk basically throwing that in the dirt real quick. And then as he continues to get along with his promo, we get an interruption by, of all people, Jinder Mahal again. Jinder Mahal is back for the second time in 2 weeks. To the modern day Maharaja is back to confront Seth, talk about his trajectory and where he wants to go, and how he feels disrespected after last week with the Rock and coming back and whatnot and being a part of that whole mess. He gets, I think, one line from Seth that got a big pop was what did he say? That the Rock, oh god, what exactly did he say? It got the crowd. It was something. I don't want to say this wrong because it could come off very, very not right. Something about the Rock, like handing him his balls to his hand or something like that. Like I was like, ooh.
Yeah.
I was like, ooh, man. It was something to that extent. It wasn't exactly. I can't remember what it was word for word, but it was. It got a pop out of. It got a rise out of the crowd, and you could just, Jinder Mahal had that shit-eating look in his face when he said that, because he really did. I mean, kudos to Jinder. He was lamb. He was lamb to the slaughter last week for The Rock, and The Rock just let him have everything, and then came out and gave out a promo here. I don't know if Jinder Mahal. I would assume Jinder Mahal probably will be in the Royal Rumble match himself. I don't think he will be one of the final four. I don't think he will. Although I've seen crazier things, and it would be kind of funny if he was. But I think what this might do is this might give Seth something to do in between. Maybe they do a Jinder Mahal versus Seth Rollins match for the World Heavyweight Championship in between.
They are doing that next week. They are doing that next week.
Oh, did they announce that?
Yeah, they announced it that he will be fighting next week against Jinder Mahal
For the title or just in a match?
for the title.
Oh wow! So our fighting world champion continues to be a fighting defending world champion, and there it is right there. He will defend his title against Jinder Mahal. So Jinder Mahal gets. I guess that was WWE's. That was probably Triple H's. Like, hey, do you mind going out and like taking shit from The Rock for 20 minutes? If you do it, we'll give you a title shot in 2 weeks. Like, do you mind taking that? Taking that hit, Jinder? Like, we'll make it worth your while, bro. We'll give you a title match in 2 weeks. So I guess maybe that's his reward. That's his gift for having The Rock shit all over him last week. And so, okay, I didn't know that. I didn't hear that. I guess I missed that. But okay, I guess we're gonna have that match next week. So okay, there we go. Another filler feud match for Seth Rollins, trying to keep him hot and keep him going into Rumble season and WrestleMania season right after. Since this will be the first time if he holds on to the title in between now and WrestleMania. This would be the first time he would go in as a champion instead of chasing a title. So that'll be interesting. See where it goes with that. But yeah, that's what that was all set up for. Do you have anything on that promo that you'd like to add, or can we move forward?
Yeah, I think we're leaving one thing out about Jinder
Oh,
Mahal.
okay.
For 2 weeks now, he's had feuds with two of the hottest stars in WWE. Last week with The Rock, and this week with Seth Rollins. That all got him a WWE title match next week, and who knows, he could be the winner of the Royal Rumble and be facing Seth Rollins at WrestleMania.
WrestleMania.
If
Or he
don't
might.
count out the modern day Maharaja, he is a one-time WWE champion going for 2 times.
Maybe he would like to take a seat at the head of the table.
But but on a serious note,
Oh, that wasn't a serious note. Oh man. Okay.
hell no. But on a serious note, man, dude, I do feel sorry for Seth Rollins because you can clearly see he's got some back issues the last couple times he's fought, and he continues to put
Yeah.
his WWE title on the line, and if he wants to make it to WrestleMania, he's gonna have to slow it down just a little bit, pumping out all them matches and stuff like that. So,
Yeah,
but
yeah, yeah. I mean, we just need him to get to WrestleMania. That's what the goal is, right? And
yes, sir.
I just hope that we can get him there because there's a lot of money there in that CM Punk and Seth Rollins feud if that's where they're deciding to go. And I would hate to see something dumb, knocking on wood. I hate to see something dumb happen that's not going to cause it to happen. So hopefully he can stay healthy going into WrestleMania. But we'll see how it goes next week. I'm assuming that's probably your main event next week. Jinder Mahal in the main event. Back in the main event, he went ahead and told his tag team to take a hike. I'm getting title matches again. He told his
I know who those guys were.
they came for a cup of coffee and they're gone. They're back wherever they came from wherever the hell they came from. And
Spirit Squad.
and now he's getting that singles push again. And maybe he'll win the title next week and he'll go on to headline WrestleMania against CM Punk.
Yep.
Ain't gonna happen.
Hell no.
So we get into our next match of the night, which I would have liked to have seen this gone for 15 minutes, but it only went for about 5. It was the super heavyweight match between Otis and Ivar, and they only got about 5 minutes, I think, more or less. But in those 5 minutes, we got a lot of good-looking, heavy spots. We had a World's Strongest Slam that looked really, really nice. And then it went really, really fast. Like 5 minutes just went by like that. But we ended it with what did they call it? The doom salt.
The Doom
The
Salt.
doom salt, the super moonsault from the top. And good Lord, Ivar got some height on that moonsault. Like that wasn't like he just flipped over. Like he jumped and got height on that, dude. That looks sick. That looks so good. And I'm glad that ended up being like what was the finish. And I'll go back and say it again, like I've said before. These Ivar matches, his singles run, I'm here for it, dude. It's been so good. And same thing goes for this is another guy that could have got lost in the shuffle because his partner got hurt. And they could have just not done anything with him and just kind of got lost in the shuffle, but they gave him this spotlight, and it is working. Dude, Ivar is amazing in the ring and these one-on-one matches, especially against these heavyweights and stuff like that. Like, he's showing out, dude. He's doing some good-looking stuff. And I'm here for it. If they want to put him on the show every week and just give him a match against somebody, particularly somebody big, like this is it. I know you want another hot prediction, Mr. Zero. I got another one. I got one more hot prediction. There's 2 nights of WrestleMania. You got enough time for this. You put Ivar in a match, right? Super heavyweight, Doom Salt Master, Ivar versus the greatest WrestleMania performer of all time, Omos.
Oh my God. That would be damn good.
And you title that the greatest match of all time, Ivar versus Omos at WrestleMania.
That would be sick. In a good way. Sick in a good way.
Oh man, I'm just trying to think of like what other like big huge like super heavyweights you can put him up against at this point. And I haven't seen Omos in a minute. Although I did hear that Omos did sign a new he signed a new deal, a new 5 year deal with WWE. So he'll be around for the long haul here. I know he's still working live events pretty regularly, but they haven't put he's been off of TV for quite some time. But that would be kind of I don't know if that's a WrestleMania match, but I think like I would like to see Omos versus Ivar, see what they can do together. Two big dudes. But Ivar showing out, man. I keep doing stuff with him. Like don't let him sit on the sidelines. Like keep doing this with him, dude, because this guy's got something. And if I can see more doom salts and suplexes off the top and freaking world's strongest slams and all kinds of flips and kicks that this guy can do at his size, like give me more of it, dude. I wouldn't mind seeing more of it. So hopefully they do. I mean, he got another win here, so that's good for him. What happens after the match is Tozawa comes in to go face to face with him and definitely eat shit really quick. It doesn't take much to push down that guy. So maybe that's your match next week. I hope. I kind of hope it's not, but they did. Yeah, you're right. They did. It didn't end well for Tozawa. That's right. That's correct. I remember. Yeah, because he challenged him. Yeah, that didn't end well. That didn't end well for Tozawa.
It looks like this is headed in the direction that Ivar's will be facing
He's gonna
the
go.
Swoosh Master
He's going through the Alpha Academy Gauntlet,
Gable. Yeah,
and so Gable's
I
the
think
next. Gable's the
I
next
think
guy
he's last. So,
who was
but that would be one hell of a match.
that would. I mean, Gable can go with the best of them, but man, that Doom Salt, I love that. That looks sick, dude. That looks so good. So give me more.
Yeah, it's awesome because you don't see big men go to the top and do moonsaults.
And do it like that.
Moonsaults?
Like do it like that. Like I'm talking about. Like I've seen them where like they'll just kind of like tumble off the top rope or but this guy he jumped on that. He got height on that moonsault, dude. I was like, that's so sick looking. Him and Bronson Reed both have good can get good height for their guys their size. Like it's insane. Speaking of Bronson Reed, I'm sorry, did you want to say something about this match before I move forward? Sorry about that. Go ahead.
Yeah, I mean, no, you're good. I was just gonna agree with you that I did wish this match would have gone on a little longer. It's always fun seeing the super heavyweights going at it. I guess 3 weeks ago when Bronson Reed and Ivar had their match. It was one hell of a match, and just fun to see two big guys going at it, and, pulling out all the stops. So I was hoping to see a little bit more, especially because we got a great match with Tozawa the week before, and we just didn't get as great of a, or no, I'm sorry, he fought Tozawa 3 weeks ago, right?
I think so. Yeah. I kind of forgot about that before you mentioned it. I was like, oh yeah, that's right. That's where this had started. It was after the Bronson Reed
Yeah, I
stuff.
said last week, but it was about 3 weeks ago,
Yeah.
and
This
I
is
mean
where
that match went for about 15 minutes. So
yeah, I got longer time with Tozawa than he did here with Otis, who's the bigger guy.
with the bodybuilder or whatever of American Alpha or Alpha Academy.
Yeah.
You know, um,
There we go.
unfortunately,
Right.
that's not what we got. But I think we'll get a better match next week if Ivar is in fact taking on Chad Gable.
Yeah, we'll see where it goes with that. Like I said, give me Ivar every week with something because I can watch that guy do his thing every week, and it looks
He's only getting better.
so
He's only
good.
getting better.
And the fortunate and the unfortunate part about this, just real quick, is that as I want to continue to see this from Ivar, is that I don't mean no nothing against the guy, but whenever his partner is ready to come back, I don't know if I want to see that anymore. Like I think Ivar can go by himself, dude. Like I mean, sorry about that. What's his name? Eric. I don't even remember his name.
I don't know
Wow,
his
that's
name
bad, right?
We're not
Eric.
here for that.
Yeah, we're not here for that. I'm here for Ivar time, man. I'm here for Doom salts. Give me all the Doom salts,
Mm,
you know. But
yeah,
no, yeah.
definitely.
I mean, so hopefully they keep doing well with him, and we'll see where it goes. But speaking of Bronson Reed, who was his opponent a couple of weeks ago in that awesome super heavyweight match, we before we get a little bit of Bronson Reed, we get main event Jay Uso, or as Mr. Zero likes to call him, mid card mid card Jay Uso. How he was last
No
week,
show,
no show
no
or
show, Joey
no,
Jey
no,
Uso
not do nothing Jay Uso last week, and this week he
can't
is
get in the
back.
ring. Jey
This
Uso.
week he's backstage Jay Uso, who is given interview time in the backstage to proclaim that he is ready for his first singles title run in WWE in 2024. And I would assume the title he's chasing is not a world title, but I would assume that would probably enter him into the Intercontinental title scene, maybe. And we do get a little bit of confirmation of that almost immediately with Bronson Reed confronting him and telling Jay that he has title aspirations and to stay out of his way. So maybe what it seems like here pretty soon down the road, we got a little bit of a clearer picture on possible Intercontinental Championship opponents. Of course, I think it was last week, right, that Bronson Reed went into Adam Pearce's office and said that
Hmm.
we need to talk about the Intercontinental Championship scene, right? We didn't get
Yep.
anything further than that other than tonight. So I would assume that Jey Uso now is inserting himself into the Intercontinental Championship title picture. And Gunther's next two opponents could be either Bronson Reed and or Jey Uso. I'm down for that. Those are two legit opponents for Gunther, who could be what's the word I'm looking for?
Contenders.
Like real contenders, yeah, like guys that could actually beat him. Who you could believe could beat Gunther, right, to win the title. And
Hmm.
I wouldn't mind seeing Jay have a run with the Intercontinental title. I also wouldn't mind seeing Bronson Reed get his due. Those are two guys that haven't had singles title runs in WWE since they came on. Of course,
Hmm.
Jey Uso's been in WWE for over 15 years now, almost, and
Yeah.
it's just been in the tag team scene for most of it up until now. So you have a chance to do something there, but maybe we'll get a Bronson Reed versus Jey Uso match next week or in the coming weeks here before the Royal Rumble, or maybe even after you
Who
have time to
knows?
do that. But who knows? Gunther right now still being a daddy, being a new daddy. Yeah, Mr. Zero knows all about how that can be. So take your time, Mister Ring General. Take care of your baby. We'll see you soon. But what you got? You got anything to say about backstage Jay?
I'm still waiting for him to have a match in 2024, man. He's talking about a title run. I'm waiting for a damn singles match. I'm waiting for a singles match. I'm waiting for a finisher that actually finishes people.
Yeah.
Um, I'm waiting for a lot of things from Jey Uso, but maybe this is the little break he needs.
I guess so.
He was bad last week because he wanted to bust out the new move and just couldn't do it. So we'll see. We'll see.
Yeah, that would
And
mark that would mark 2 weeks now that Jey Uso has done no physical activity on TV. And so by the time we get to next week, I guess we'll find out if he's actually going to do something. But the fire and the flame of Jey Uso is kind of cooling off a little bit, but maybe they could reignite that with a Gunther feud whenever they decide to pull the trigger on that. Of course, the IC title scene, there's so many different ways they could go about it. So many different guys that could challenge for that title, but I'm always under the idea that new challengers are good things when it comes to that title and legit challengers. That's what I was looking for earlier. And a guy like Jay and a guy like Bronson are legit contenders and threats, legitimate threats to that title reign. I don't know when that title reign is going to end or how it's going to end. But maybe it could be one of these two guys. I don't know, right? We don't won't know until we know. The rumors are that Gunther could be an opponent for Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania, and I would not mind seeing that either. But I don't think Brock Lesnar needs the Intercontinental Championship to solidify himself as a all timer. I think he's already done that years ago. But I would still like to see that. But does he need to be the Intercontinental Champion for that match too? Another thing. So I guess it remains to be seen. But this Raw was pretty much a filler episode. Just get it, tiptoeing us over to the Royal Rumble, which I think right after the Royal Rumbles, I think where things really, really. I mean, this is 1 week removed from the day one special episode, so wasn't expecting a lot of super super explosive things, especially after we got the Rock return last week and all of that. Like it's hard, it's gonna be hard to follow up on that kind of a show, and so this was expected a little bit of a cool down show with some good fun things mixed in there, ideas about where we're gonna be going to the Royal Rumble. I think once we get there and we find out who wins the Rumble matches, we'll have a lot clearer view about where WrestleMania is going to look like. And we got a big Elimination Chamber coming up in a couple of months. So a lot of good things here with the future as far as where we go from here. As far as I know, as far as I can tell, though, I mean, geez, there's a lot of different directions anything can go. The mixture of the Rock getting put in it now changes everything going into WrestleMania. So I have no idea how we're gonna pull all this stuff off. Where Cody's story goes from here after tonight, I guess we'll start finding out next week and at the Royal Rumble. If you want my early prediction on if Cody's going to win the Royal Rumble, my answer is no. Easy, no. I don't think he does. I don't think he wins back to back. What do you think? Do you think he wins back to back? Or you do you want to give me your winner, your prediction for your men's winner now? It's up to you. I just decided to throw it out there. I plan on doing a whole separate show on all of our predictions and whatnot, but I didn't want to. I just threw it out there.
Early predictions, Johnny T. Jinder Mahal.
Yeah, that's it. Just Jinder Mahal. He's gonna win the Royal Rumble match. He's gonna be. He's gonna enter in. He's gonna enter in number one, and he's gonna enter in number one and win the Royal Rumble.
He said enter in number one and exit number one. He said it'd be the first one to exit.
Oh, jeez.
No, it's exciting, man. We got a lot of talent. But like I said, I do believe it's gonna be somebody from Raw, like because everybody, literally the biggest names from SmackDown are in a title match that same night. So
yeah, no, you're right, and so you're gonna have four of the top guys in that title match at the Royal Rumble on the SmackDown side, which means that your bigger guys on SmackDown for the Rumble is what, like, well, and then Kevin Owens is already going to be in a U.S. title match, so he's not even going to be in it. So Bobby Lashley, he declared, right?
yeah.
Is Solo
Cross, I guess?
Is Solo going to be in it? Is Jimmy going to be in it? Are they going to be involved in the Royal Rumble or not? Yeah, I mean, yeah, you're right. I mean, I kind of look at it, and I mean, all the big top stars are all in that match already. There's nobody else in the. So yeah, you're right. This might just. I mean, we both might be right about this. I mean, maybe the Final Four is just all Raw guys. Maybe this is we are destined for a Raw guy to win this because I mean, right? Where else do we go? And even if Cody does win, we already know who he's going after. He's going after Roman, right? And that's where you put. That's where Cody then probably shifts over to SmackDown at that point, if that's the direction they're gonna go. Although I don't think he wins, I think we're destined for CM Punk to win this thing, and set up his feud with Seth Rollins. And the reason I say that is because I think if you have Cody lose at the Royal Rumble, it just continues to feed into that. How am I gonna get to finish my story? I thought this is how it was gonna go, and it didn't go that way. It's the same thing how they used to do this with Shawn Michaels, like 15 years
Hmm.
ago or so, where you know
When he wrestled the
where
Undertaker.
you would do that, and you thought that was going to be the way that he was going to get in, and then he didn't. But then he eventually got there one way or another. And so I think that's what you can do here is you continue to have Cody like just try to keep fighting and scratching to get to the finish of his story. But then of course you have the wild card, which is Dwayne the Rock Johnson, who I don't know how he's gonna get through all this. Like, where does he fit in, and at what time does he fit in to all of this? So that all remains to be seen. We got a lot of stuff. That's good stuff, man. Good, exciting stuff that's gonna come up. But as far as this Raw is concerned, I would grade this Raw. I would grade this Raw a B minus, I guess. B minus, I think, is fair. It wasn't a disappointing show. It was a cool down show from last week. So last week's show was an A show. So I think this deserves a B minus because there was a couple of good matches in there. The Kaiser thing was awesome. The R-Truth stuff was great. The main event was great. And then we got a lot of direction going to the Rumble. So I thought all the check marks were everything was check marked, and a good solid B minus show. What you got?
Uh, I went just one step ahead of you. I'm gonna give it a B. We did see a little bit of CM Punk. We got the awesome R Truth tribute to Judgment. And yeah, I mean, Ludwig Kaiser laying the smack it down on Kofi's candy ass head, and then finish the show with Cody Rhodes and Shinsuke in one hell of a street fight.
Good.
You could just might as well just call it a no DQ match, but whatever. But yeah, I mean, it
Yeah.
had some good. It definitely didn't. It definitely wasn't a boring show.
No,
They
not at all.
even though last week's show is hard to follow, especially with The Rock, like you said, they still found ways to keep the viewers entertained. I was entertained the whole way through.
Yeah, for
Those
real.
there was definitely a point where it's like, okay, is it gonna kind of slow down? Nope, we're gonna throw our truth in there. Okay, it's gonna slow down. No, no, we're gonna get Kofi's head kicked in. Okay, it's gonna slow down now. No, we're gonna have a pretty good tag team match. You know what I mean? So all in all, it was a good show.
Yeah, good,
I
exciting
was
stuff.
entertained from start to finish, and can't wait to see what happens next week. And then I'm looking forward to the Royal Rumble.
Yeah, we're as far as when we hit Saturday, we'll be 2 weeks away from the Royal Rumble, so we're almost there. And in between that time, we get you know, we'll get a title match between Jinder. Apparently, we'll get a title match between Jinder Mahal and Seth Rollins next week. So we'll see see how that goes and where that goes, and where all these other guys are gonna be put in there. But go Jinder Mahal, right? Go Jinder Mahal. Screw this whole thing up. Screw this whole plan up, and just win the title next week.
Finish your story, Jinder. Finish your
Th-
story.
throw everybody's predictions and plans for a loop and just win the damn title again and surprise everybody yet again. Solidify yourself in the history books.
Hmm.
Oh, but yeah, guys, let us know what you thought about this show in the comments below. What are your predictions for the Royal Rumble? Let us know in the comments. Remember to like, subscribe, and ring the bell is an important one, because if you ring the bell, you'll get all the notifications for anytime we go live or anytime we drop any kind of new content. You'll get those messages, those notifications right away. So remember to ring that bell. But guys, until then, that is Mr. Zero. I'm the Mean Bean Johnny T. We are the Springboard Poncho Podcast, and we will see you next time. Later, dudes. And we're out.
Sweet, man.
Ooh, man. It held up. I was kind of like peeking like left and right over here. Let's see. Let me turn on the volume.
Yeah, we had like four Four people watching at one point.
Later, dudes.
And that was like towards the end.
And we're out.
Well, two people, I guess, because
Man.
you and I were both watching.
Why are we still going?
Like left and right over here.
I clicked stop. Why didn't it stop?
Oh, shit.